And it's our responsibility to make sure that we fight the mismanagers of our nation. I know that majority of us here went through thick and thin to get to your positions. Just the recent experience of Kawempe tells you where we are going. A lot of money wasted for people to make their decision. And that even when people have made their decision, you still waste a lot of taxpayers' money. You abuse people, you assault people, you insult people, you break people's ribs just because there is an election. What a shame for our leaders. But all this is due to corruption. You know the amount of money that was lost in Kawempe? People, instead of talking about the issues that affect the ordinary citizens, they went on abusing members of the opposition. They have no agenda. They have no agenda. If you have an agenda, why don't you give it to the people so that they can vote you? We know that Museveni's agenda is impoverishing the citizens of Uganda and making sure that we all remain in this poverty, because it is this poverty that he uses to hold us hostage in our own countries. Can you imagine a country where levels of employment are very low, and that agriculture is the biggest employer of citizens of Uganda, but even agriculture, they still tamper with it? A report from the Ministry of Agriculture indicated that over 445 billion was wasted to corruption out of abuse and misuse of essential inputs in agriculture. And yet I thought that if there is any government that is worth being called a government, would have been so keen on ensuring that they provide water for production, they ensure that people who are involved in the agriculture sector get the best of what they want. Because this is one of the most employers of our Ugandans, but they still swindle the money from the farmers. What a shame. Leader of opposition, thank you for giving us this opportunity today to let the country know that Uganda is not a poor country, and for Ugandans to understand that corruption has devastating effects on human capital development and social equity of our nation. So the better we fight it before all of us are consumed by this sag of corruption. Ladies and gentlemen, I would not want to take you far because you all know what is happening. Much of the money that is wasted is our money. It's money that you and I pay in form of taxes. When they are wasting it, they don't want to let you know that it's your money. When I was still here as a member of parliament, actually towards the end of our term, Uganda gave a contract to a company which was going to do roads in Congo. I kept asking myself, how do we begin doing roads in Congo when our own roads are still very poor? It's like giving food to the neighbors when your own children are sleeping hungry. And I kept asking myself, yes, it could be that we are getting businesses from Congo. Yes, it could be that possibly we are chasing security. But doesn't it also concern us that these roads are some form of insecurity to our own countrymen and women? Some of the roads that we are supposed to be worked on, I saw a clip of tourists sleeping in the middle of my road, the one taking me to my home from Chikorongo to Bwera. Tourists are taking photos in the ditches. Ugandan roads are becoming tourist attraction sites because of the way they look. Not that they look well, not that really everybody is admiring them, but because of the pitfalls that we have. The potholes that we have are making our roads tourist centers. And then you stand here and you say, I'm a leader of a country, I've made your country look great, you've managed us for 40 years, and in 40 years, we still have dilapidated roads, we still have roads that can be used as graves. What a shame. And all this is due to corruption. So having a theme that talks about combating corruption as the only sure way to effective service delivery is a welcome idea. And I would like to equally call upon all of us here, stakeholders, Ugandans, let us make this our issue. Corruption hits all of us. I know that wherever you go, because of corruption, you are now the targets. People begin asking you, honorable, our roads, honorable, our roads, and yet you and I contribute to a central pool where we think that our managers, the managers of this nation, the so-called leaders at the higher level who control taxes, are supposed to answer to some of these concerns. But now it is you who is being asked why the roads are not made. And yet for you, you have done your duty. Continue shouting, continue making noise, continue bringing these issues out. Someday, we shall overcome. But what I know, just like His Excellency, the President of the National Unity Platform said, the only way of ensuring that these ills are done away with in our society is by changing leadership. Because everything else rests upon leadership. We may speak and speak until we change the leadership of this nation. There is nothing much we can do. The only thing is to work harder and ensure that we change leadership of the nation, we get there and give better service, quality service to the population of Uganda. And I think that's why we are here today to say that even when they don't believe us, we can do it. And we have shown them that for us, we are ready to fight and make Uganda a better place for everyone. Ugandans, you better begin thinking. It is you and me that suffer the corruption of President Museveni. It is still you and me that can get Museveni out of his office. It is your office that he has mismanaged. So let us work hard and we change leadership and the governance of this country so that Ugandans can enjoy their taxes and live in a country worth being called the Pearl of Africa. I thank you.
Thank you so much, the Honorable Winnie Kiiza, our former leader of the opposition. Honorable members, colleagues, and our guests, allow me also to introduce to you the Honorable Betty Narima, Shadow Minister for Local Government. She also joined us. Honorable Flavia Naragare, IPU. There is Honorable Karwanga Chams, Commonwealth Parliament. Thank you so much for coming. I think this allow me to introduce to you one Miss Agnes Chirabo. She is the CEO of, she's the Executive Director of Food Rights Alliance. She has represented all the CSOs and she's going to give us a brief speech about our budget for today. And then I'll give you the next program after that. I thank you so much. Honorable members and colleagues, there is a cup of tea. If you want to use some, refreshment, please have a cup of tea. Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay. Thank you so much, Honorable. the leader of opposition, honorable members of parliament, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Agnes Kirabo is my name. I'm a civil society leader in this country, and I take this opportunity with delight, humility, and honor to make a statement on this memorable day of the presentation of the alternative budget for the financial year 2025-2026. It is my first time here, and I've had my sister, Honorable Winnie Kiiza, laughing. Yes, it is my first time here, and if I mess up with the protocol, please bear with me. That is one area that I'm very poor at. Last week, personally, I was in Paris, where global leaders met, and on one thing, combating malnutrition. About $27 billion were committed to be invested in fighting malnutrition. While I was there, colleagues of mine from civil society were here in Parliament having discussions over issues that we hold department that we think should form priorities if we are to better the lives of the people of Uganda using the most critical policy tool in the country, which is the national budget, a tool that determines the haves and the have-nots, a tool that directs where investments should be made and where results should be realized. Right, Honorable Leader of Opposition, we are delighted that we are invited as civil society to share our views, and we feel it is our civic and moral duty to seize every moment and see that the voices of the people are heard. I'm quite knowledgeable on a number of things that you have alluded to in your presentation, but I'm only an expert in one area, that is agriculture and food security, and of course malnutrition. Right, Honorable Leader of Opposition, Honorable Leaders here, ladies and gentlemen, the theme of which we are discussing today is combating corruption. And we are dealing with this theme focusing on the budget tool. Corruption does not happen at the exit end. It actually starts at the beginning, and this is at planning. Where we choose to put our money determines how we are going to use our money and defines who is going to benefit from the plans where we have decided to allocate